me, Ruowen Huang. This is something new. I'm gonna give it a try and then see how it goes from this point forward. I have been traveling for years, and then it's not like I stop everything altogether. It's just simply because I don't have time to do much broadcast at all. Different from how other people travel. Every time we are on the go, we seem to always go. It doesn't really have a time to give us a break. So even though we have experienced a lot of things, I didn't really have time to let it sit or settle and can fully put together and share with you all. So during the past trips, things that many of you know, I have been traveling with my fan for the past two trips. I did start to realize why, my fame seems to be in tune with a lot of things. Why, my family members, all my friends seems to be not so tuned in with what I'm doing. So I thought I'm going to give this a try. Try to do my chat in English. So how I usually do it is I would do broadcasts and share how I gather things together and then put things together and in a more organized way with you all. But then I will often do a coffee chat or, like coffee break, literally just chit chat. It could be any topic and anything with any one of you. It could be something that I'm going through, or something that happened during my trip, and it would be random thought. So anyway, this is one of them because my husband or my friend did not understand how come I'm able to have a gossip room, which I call gossip room, in daily basis. That's a lot to do with I am simply, very gossipy type of person. I like to talk about everything, and not necessarily the gossip about other people, but more about what I've been experienced or encountered or what I discovered during my trip. So anyway, this is something new. Let's give it a try. So you guys will hear a lot of gossips. The reason I call it coffee break is, it's not something organized. It's simply something that people talk about during coffee break. So during this trip, before I get into this, the most I want to talk to you about is, since at the end of the years, have you guys feel going crazy? Things are a little bit overwhelmed, and it's constantly hitting you in a way that you simply have no time to react or respond. It have a lot to do with, I have been talking about in the past 3 years that we are entering in the era of awareness. And mind you, it's era of awareness, not awakening. I understand a lot of people out there is talking about we are in the awakening era, but we really not. The reason about the difference between awakening and awareness is awareness era is simply bring to you awareness of things that you did not notice before. It doesn't mean that it was not there. It's always there. It's always there. But, since we're entering the era of awareness, we start becoming aware of things that which we might have taken for granted before, or which we might have, used to or didn't pay attention to, or it was not necessarily important at that period of time. But since we're entering the era of awareness, a lot of things will become service. So you will start to notice like, well, is this really what I want? Is this who I am? Or things like that. So era of awareness would span roughly about 12 years, which I did talk about in the previous episode before. So if you're interested, get back, try to search my episode. I'm pretty sure it's more detailed. So the era of awareness spanned roughly about 12 years, and you break into 4 sections. When the first section, simply very internal, help you understanding yourself, who you are, what you are. Is this the life I want? So a lot of things will happen. The most significant thing that you guys know is during the pandemic. That is like 3 years of time. In 3 years of time, that you will start to realize, well, the way I thought it worked no longer worked for me. The way I thought is important no longer was important for me. So in the first phase of this era of awareness, people got a lot of internal reflection, right? Then after we are entering the second phase, and Second phase is is actually the worst phase of all. Why? Because it's a time that you start to figure out something else, and then you kind of use that understanding and start go to the world again, right? So when you go into the world again, you will realize a lot of things seems to not fit with what you believe, and then that force almost convince you to go back to the way it was before, even though deep down you know it no longer serves you. So that's why it's hard. So, and this second phase, the way I describe it to my friend is pretty much like you were standing by the shore on the first phase. So first 3 years, you're standing by the shore and you simply evaluate the wave, like literally by the beach, by the shore, and then you know you want to go somewhere. But then you kind of evaluating if how strong is a wave, how strong is a wind, am I gonna go in, safely, or you start evaluate all the future plan, how it should be, how it should better, and things like that. By entering the second phase, a lot of things gonna hit you in all over the place. It feel more like you were standing by the shore, now you are going into the water, right? Even though you know your future is far, far away on the other side of the ocean, now you know you have to get into the water and make the action happen. But the reason this period of time is kind of hard for people is because when people are actually hitting the wave are hitting you from all over the place. So you feel drowning, or you feel like disoriented. You're not quite sure which way you are doing. So human tendency is go back to the shore, right? And then reevaluate it again. A lot of people would give up by now, which is, if you ever evaluate in the past 4 years, that's exactly what your life most likely would look like. So you try something new, but then it may not work, and then you have to go back again. A lot of time people would think, let's go back to the way we were and then do the way we did before because it seems to work before. But the problem is, as we start evolving, all pattern no longer work for us. So we will have to continue push ourselves forward, or continue trying to get into the other side of the ocean. So I would say during the span of the 12 years, the second phase would be the roughest one, just simply because there would be a lot of things constantly challenging your belief, constantly challenging your habit, and constantly challenging your life to ask you, is this what you want? So if you have a very clear goal and very clear mind, most likely it will help you, right? Yes, you will take a break here and there, but most likely it will help you to get over this wave. As we all know, wave only hit us the hardest when it hit the shore. But once you pass that wave and you learn to jump with it, then it becomes smoother. So I would say this couple years is a bit hard, but I would say hardest one is the last year. Well, next year is going to be hard too. But if you come through the last year, then next year might be easier. So remember, this is not awakening your power. This is simply bring your awareness to the surface. As I share many times in my occasion, like awareness is only the first step of the evolution. Since the whole soul want to evolve to the point, like in your mind, how I can justify not to become God, but simply try to have a better life, have a more life that we wanted, the life we were more connected. So therefore, a lot of things will become surface. So you will see in the past several years, or especially very intensely last year's, a lot of lie will become surface. A lot of things that was used to hit well or very well will start surface. That have a lot to do with how our soul was doing. And because our soul are going to evolve to a point that we able to synchronize with our internally and externally. So therefore, in order to get to that you call awakening stage, we have to synchronize inside out, outside in. That is, we will speak what we truly feel. Why in the industrial period of time, we didn't have to do that. We can lie, we can cover everything, simply by putting up a good facade or good persona or things like that. So therefore, nobody will know who we are. But as we start evolving to the next generation or next era, those kind of habits no longer will work. So what I'm here to share with you in this coffee break is really not episode, it's just coffee break. Is the end of the year is usually kind of, I call mini final test. Mini final test by testing you. Are you aware of where you're going or if this is what you want? So a lot to do with spend some time, put your thought together, and then really spend some quality time with yourself to figure out what kind of future is what I'm trying to work for, right? Remember, every time I talk about things, it's not about everybody else. It's not about your children. It's not about, your family or things like that. It's about you, who you are, what you are, and where do you want to go, right? If you have a very clear mind of that, trust me, it will help you. Just as when we are lost in the water, we need some sense of direction, knowing where we are heading to. So due to that, it would really help you to go through this wave. Sometimes with a wave, the best way to get over the wave is not to fight the wave, it's simply ride the wave. So you're floating with it. If you feel low, then express your sadness. If you feel high, then celebrate your joys. But simply riding the wave, that will help you going through this phase much easier. And then just do understand this is a period of time. Really try to figure out what your soul want to achieve. So therefore, there's a lot of tasks. It's simply challenging your fear. If you are worried about financial, for example, then you'll realize your financial problem may constantly be a problem during this year because it's constantly hitting you. If you have this insecurity toward the relationship, etc., it might hit you. So if you have the insecurity toward your family or things like that, it might always surface as well. So what I'm saying is, do pay attention and see what's repetitive in the past. I would say every 3 months to 4 months. It depends on your sign or where your star falls. So pay attention to that, and then you will have an idea, because by now 2023, this is the first years of the second phase. You most likely have experienced something in the past whole year 3 times at least, like it seems like something similar keep happening and you could not understand why it kept happening. Remember, it's most likely to bring to your awareness like there's something, like some fear or some struggle or something that you are buried within yourself. The best way to actually overcome this is not to keep everything to yourself. Remember, eventually we're going to go to a world of where we are able to connect with one another in a more fast-paced way. So to do that, we have to bring out our true self. We have to really be genuine or authentic to ourselves, how we feel, what we want, and things like that. So instead of always say what people want to hear or always act as how people want us to act. So that's why this whole phase was spent roughly about 12 years, and we are only on the second. But remember, once you are able to bring to your awareness and then understand, you know what, this is what I feel the most insecure about, and this is what I'm fear of, for example, the best way to do is try to reach out and then hear what people have to say, hear what other suggestion could be, and then try something new, because what it is your old way obviously didn't work. In order to bring to your awareness, you most likely would try a lot of things. So during this 3 years of time, you will start to realize a lot of idea will come to mind, a lot of things will surface. Since this is a period of time, all the fundamental things will start surfacing. I do, again, recommend you guys to be truthful to yourself. Speak what really is in your mind. So when you are able to be connecting within your true self and then add upon that, then you're most likely to able to move on to the next phase, which is when you start seeing some kind of manifesting happening. Because a lot of people are complaining why I cannot manifest things. A lot to do with they don't really know what they want, or they don't really know who they are. So therefore, when they speak something, simply because they want it, not because they believe they are it. So 3 years, guys, this is time for you guys to really practicing and act on it. Next year, you're gonna deal, if you are able to figure that out and understand the repetitive event that been happening in the past years, at least 3 times, it always hit with you the same feeling, most likely the same feeling. So everybody vary, right? So it will hit on you with the same feeling, reflect on those feeling, and then think about what it is like deep down that you worry about, fear about, and then how can you make better of it. Then next year will be better. Why? Because already from the psychic point of view, I can see, I call 90-degree vibration at least happen 3 times in the next year. 90-degree for me is not bad. Yes and no. It depends on who you are. That could mean like you would turn, your life would turn a corner. It could mean that your belief will be challenged. You know, like people coming from 2 different belief, and then they will come to this corner of confrontation. So you will be confronted of, you know, most likely your inner feeling again. And then that's the point that really those corners will sometimes create change in your life. Like not many people would like it, and sometimes will create a lot of confrontation, which a lot of people try to avoid as well. But all of things happen really is try to adjust your mindset toward the life that you wanted in the future. So anyway, the end of the years, everybody like it. Sometimes they're thinking holiday season 2, everybody gets so stressed out, and then not knowing why things simply don't go the way we wanted. A lot of time I joke is simply our mini final phase as a soul, and then that's why we will constantly get challenging with those kind of event. Spend some time, write it down, jot it down, what actually happened, what actually going through your mind, and then reflect upon it. That might help you to predict or foresee what's gonna hit you next 2024. That will be not a 90-degree, but no worry. If you come prepared, I'm pretty sure you can get over it fast as well. So anyway, this is my first try of the English coffee break. I did do coffee break in Chinese for like, I don't know, nearly 10 years. But let's give this a try. If you like it, follow, share, and like, and then leave some comment. Like, if you like to hear me gossip here and there. So till then, talk to you next time. Bye now.